obviously comes with a really nice setup. We have a similar setup, but a different presentation than the ZR53. Contents of the kit are pretty much the same. We have the 2 towels, we have the gloves, we have the applicator, the dripper. There, got her in there. And I'm going to, no, I don't need that. How many people, when they apply coatings, like the traditional foam block and suede applicator? Show of hands, how many are actually using those on a daily basis? Nobody is using those on a daily basis. Okay. How many are using something like this? How many are using like this exact one, but maybe different colors? Okay. So this is the Autofiber Saver applicator. These are my preference. The suede cloths and foam blocks work really, really well. But if you want a really wet application, these provide a wetter application. So if you have high heat or humidity, if you have that environment that's happening, you have probably greater flexibility and control with applying it wet with this. So as far as application goes, it's essentially the same as the ZR53. I'm going to really saturate I did that. I bent it and kinked it. When I went like this and pushed it.
So is it gonna no drip?
Printing's over.
No drippy. No drippy.
Restart.
Yeah.
In real life, I don't like doing that because it will build up some glass shards on that bottle.
Yeah. Not the best. But I'm not going to make 30 people stand around and watch me screw around with a glass bottle. Okay. Yeah, it's not fun being up here either, by the way, when things like this happen. So, this, because it's a darker color and we're under the lighting rig, you're going to be able to see some big differences, hopefully, in how this surface looks, coated versus uncoated. We can try this effect. There is that lens effect that I was talking about in the classroom. ZR53 can do it. NL272 has the highest probability of doing it. But what will happen is I want everybody to kind of, maybe you can see the reflection of a light or some of the scaffolding or anything like that above. I'm going to apply the coating, and you're going to look in that area where I'm applying the coating to find your reflective surface. Then after we level, and wipe, what I like to do is have you keep your eye on that spot, and we're going to do an experiment here today to see whether or not that lens effect adds sharpness, color, clarity, and focus to this coating. Are you guys seeing it flashing pretty quickly? Okay.
David, how long would it take you to do this one singular polish? Like for the 272?
How long does it take me?
Yeah, for anybody in the, how long estimated time, since it does usually in sections.
I take my time, so it'd probably be about 40 minutes or so.
Okay.
40 minutes to an hour. You guys will get this done in about 10. You see how wet these edges are still?
Yeah.
Do you think we're over 30 seconds yet? Do you think we're over a minute yet?
So give it some time. Slowly.
51 seconds.
That's already being.
Ah, I love it. He's going. Do you need to rush?
No.
When you put it on wet, you buy yourself time, peace, and stress reduction. This I'm purposely making you bored on.
Oh, great. I mean, you can see it opening.
Let's just leave it like that and turn it back in.
That is called a high spot, my friend. Okay.
That's called excess geography.
So there is still plenty on here. What we ensured is that we had the minimum 20 seconds to ensure that we had performance.
Right.
And we're way beyond that. So we should maximize performance here. So what we're going to do, again, we're gently leveling the surface. We're getting rid of the excess. But notice because of how wet this is, that I'm spreading it all over the place, right? So that means you're probably going to end up putting it into areas where you didn't apply it with the applicator. So I really am highly encouraging all of you to over wipe these areas, meaning spend plenty of time here. Again, gentle wiping. We don't need this whole vehicle rocking every time that I'm wiping. You're just removing material.
Removing excess.
Yeah, we're just removing what wasn't needed, what wasn't absorbed. Did you guys all pay attention to your reflections?
Yeah.
Have you noticed anything?
Yeah, you're a mirror. I can see your nose hairs.
How clear is it now compared to how clear my nose hairs were before?
It's pretty clear.
You can count them now. So the point is this. You do not need to make this a difficult operation to get super high performance on high quality, long lasting, beautiful nanoceramic coatings.
Question. Real world. We're leaving a dry edge. What impact is that going to have on the coating?
So what we're going to do, can you just hold on to both of these for me? So when it comes to application again, you have a wet edge. What did I do with that bottle? Somebody holding on?
Where the wiper is.
Okay. I'm so glad you guys are paying attention. So because we are putting this on wet, and that is my guidance to you. Because we're putting it on wet, when you will have some overlap that happens, right? So I'm purposely going to way overlap this area to exaggerate but demonstrate Justin's concern or question, not a concern. So we apply the coating. We're just ensuring that we have overlap here, a lot of it. This box was already done. So this is still kind of wet and fresh. And now we did this one, and this is like wet on wet. So when you do this, you have a risk of leaving a darker spot.
I want to say no.
Yeah, you do have a risk of leaving a darker spot. Typically, it's going to happen on softer paints that are a little bit more absorbent than the harder paints, which just don't chemically absorb very much material. So one of the easiest ways to mitigate this is to over wipe the area. Just wipe it, get it as dry as you can without removing coating. The other is if it's still dark, let it sit. You can go put it in the sun for a few minutes, and that usually goes away.
I had freaked out on it before, and I made some phone calls. I was like, it's like two different colors.
Mm-hmm.
Next day, no problem. Looked just fine.
Thank you so much for holding this.
Nope.
So this is super wet.
Well, while we're waiting for that, what I was asking about is like, so that car over there, for example, that spot has dried. Am I going to have an issue where I'm bringing my wet coating into my completely dry coating and continuing?
Well, we'll find out after lunch. But effectively, that's the same thing. That just has more time on it. Yeah. So it's farther down the kicked off cured road.
Yep.
Yeah. Understood. All right. I'm getting bored. So we're just gonna remember. I can't stress this enough. Gently removing the excess, and then this is your actual buff off.
It almost gives you a secondary level,
Yeah.
so that you're spreading that the excess over it again, and allowing some of that excess SiO2 to attach to the surface again. And that's why you don't want to overdo that first one.
Would you say it's fair, like you can get through the whole car with 2 of those towels, or you should swap them out?
If you're applying it wet like this, you're going to want more towels.
Got it.
I just say use as many towels as you need to.
Yeah. Build it into the price. Okay. How does this look?
20, 30 towels.
In your opinions, how does this look? Is there an improved appearance to this surface?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Take this towel, rub it over here, feel for drag.
I did not ask this question.
Now go over there.
Now go here. Now do that one.
It's a little tackier.
A little tackier, right? Why is this one a little slicker?
It's dried more.
Right.
Yeah, more time to dry.
That will continue overnight. And when we come, well, we're not going to do that. But when you do this in your shop and you come in the next day and flip the lights on, it will be glowing at you. We did this, Tim, do you remember we did this with your minivan? We did it at Oklahoma City. So we did a training event. We with Rupus, and we coated their delivery minivan, just like I don't know what it is. Okay, no, it was a minivan,
That was Tim's van.
like a caravan or something. So the next day we're walking in, opening up the shop, and we flipped the lights on, and all of us were like, "Oh my God!" It looked like it had been. I mean, it was glowing. It was really actually glowing. It was so cool. And we all saw it at the same time, and we all had the same reaction at the same time. So that's why it's so memorable for me. But yeah, that was the first time I'd done the class and then saw the vehicle the next day.
Now, you guys paid attention to the Dylan Von Kleist video? He's working with a girl that had cancer. Yeah. That car, you could tell was coated. Oh, you get that? You can tell when cars are coated. And this is just over the top when you see these cars.